Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. Now, if you recall, back in 2022, John Fetterman ran a very progressive campaign about supporting the LGBTQ community, supporting workers' rights, supporting workers and unions, the working class, the working poor, the elderly, the disabled. And I still believe he'll support these people overall. But I'll say this. How are we supposed to calm down in the LGBTQ community and on the left about Donald Trump, Mr. Fetterman? How? How am I, as a trans person, to be calm about what's about to happen to my community in about 4 days' time? Do you not remember what he did in his first term? Were you not paying attention to federal politics at that point in time? Because I think you were, because you ran as senator, a primary campaign in 2016, and didn't have really kind things to say about Donald Trump. Now you're telling me to calm down about it. In Miss Patchett, Jewish Family Weekly, you stated that you felt that those attacks on Israel in 2023, that could have happened to your family. That could have been you. And I understand where you're coming from there. I understand your support of Israel. I understand how you feel. But you know what I didn't do, and what I didn't see anybody in the comments on your social media post? I didn't see anybody telling you to calm down and chill out. And with what happened in Israel. I think you and I agree on more things than we don't. Based on another article I read about you from a Jewish organization, you support a two-state solution. Do you no longer support a two-state solution? These are things I don't know, right? But I really thought you were a stronger-minded person than to be swayed by a few people on the left calling you out because they didn't support your support of Israel. I thought you were a free thinker. I thought you were somebody that thought for yourself, that wasn't bogged down in a party. That's one reason I liked you. That's one reason this channel supported your campaign. And you can go back and look at the times that you were talking about on TYT, how many good comments about you that this channel left under its old name, The Big Ranch Show. Now, we did videos about it. It especially came out in support of him when he went for mental health treatment and when he suffered a stroke. And people like Don Jr. were calling him a vegetable because he had been seeking mental health help. So I don't understand why John Fetterman is telling the LGBTQ community to calm down when most of us have no reason to calm down. The only people that get to be calm in this country are people that are rich, white, male, and white. Right? Those are the people that get to breathe a sigh of relief right now. They're the ones that get to be okay. But Mr. Fetterman, with the things Donald Trump did when he first took office the last time, banning transgender people from the military, signing a amicus brief for the Supreme Court requesting that basically because they were gay, how he tried to cut 20 million people off of health care, which that number would now be 25 million, roughly. And I'm not supposed to be worried about that? He has said that he wants to put people like me in conversion therapy prison camps. He said it in Rumble in a video talking about the trans community and how he wants to ban gender transition at any age and how he would make it illegal to be able to transition by executive order. These are things he wants to do and things he said he will do by January 21st, 2025. Every member of his cabinet just about is going to be a member of Project 2025. and heritage that created Project 2025. And I'm not supposed to be concerned? He wants to deport 11 million immigrants simply because they're undocumented. Not because they've committed a crime, of any kind of violent crime or anything terrible against this country. Just because they exist and they're brown skinned. Isn't your wife Brazilian, sir? Didn't she come here undocumented? Have you not referred to her as a dreamer? Donald Trump has also asked Congress to pass a bill banning and creating a constitutional amendment to ban naturalization, which would open your wife and the spouses of many people to deportation. What do you think he's going to do with all these people when he rounds them up? That's right. They're going to go into concentration camps. This is going to rip families apart. Thinking about your family and how what happened in Israel was so traumatic to you for what happened to these people. Do you not think some of the same things are going to happen to undocumented workers when they round up 11 million of them? Are you not worried about their families? Calm down, chill out. Really, that's what you got. Calm down and chill out. Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to calm down, nor am I going to chill out until the coast is clear. And considering the House has already passed one bill that is coming to your chamber very soon, if it hasn't already, to ban youth from participating in sports of the identity that they, or the gender they identify as. All that's going to do is hurt children. Because the bill goes for kids as young as 4. Now, I understand we can have a talk about adults transitioning and getting into women's sports and things like that. Right? We can talk about how that works. But I'm not going to sit here and talk about the dignity and the human rights and allow a free pass. So I hope you're not looking to give a free pass to that stuff. Okay? Now here's the deal. Bernie Sanders feels that there's a way to work across the aisle. I agree with the both of you to a point that we can do that. But the one thing Bernie Sanders is not doing is Bernie Sanders is not out there telling the LGBTQ community and women to calm down. That we should just, give him a chance. We already gave him a chance. Donald Trump was given a chance in 2017 to govern, and he chose not to. He chose to be a petulant little child that put our country at risk. He's already put our country at risk by saying he's going to invade Greenland and invade the Panama Canal and take over Canada. By saying he's going to invade Greenland, he's going to get us kicked out of NATO. And guess what happens when Russia invades? NATO will not help. NATO will be gone. All they're waiting for us to do is to get kicked out of NATO because of us invading part of NATO. Thus starting a war with Europe. We'd be starting a war with Europe, and then guess who would come in? Russia. Russia would run right through us in minutes. It'd just take a few weeks. Because we'd be fighting a two-front war that we won't be able to win. And you're not concerned? I'm supposed to be chill? Do you remember when this man almost tweeted us into a nuclear holocaust? Do you remember when things got so tense that an accidental warning of a nuclear attack from North Korea sent Hawaiians undercover and scared for their lives, calling people back on the mainland, telling them goodbye? Do you not remember these things? The things he said he wants to do to the trans community, and you don't care. You literally don't care. Not if you're telling us to calm down. Not if you're telling us to chill out. We're not going to chill, sir. Chilling and just letting it happen, that's just not how it works. You have to fight back. And I hope you're still going to fight back after January 20th. Do I believe we can work across the aisle? Yes. I believe there are a lot of things we can work across the aisle for. Not as many as I would like. But if you want to help make if Donald Trump's cabinet pick for Health and Human Services, RFK Jr., wants to make sure that vaccines are safe, if he wants to make sure that our food supply is safe and free of chemicals that are causing cancer, I'm for that. As long as there's a scientific basis for that. There was a consensus that red dye number 3 was cancerous, or was a carcinogen. Guess what? It got banned. So if you want to work on things like that, and the Republicans will do it, fine. Conversely, though, I think there's some things that should be left alone. I believe the states should continue to be able to take care of their own water supplies. Do you support that, Mr. Fetterman? But all in all, Mr. Fetterman, I got a question. The only question I have for you is, if you were worried that what happened in Israel could have happened to your family, that your family could have been attacked like that for some reason, but you're not having the same, you're not up in arms the same over what's going to happen to the LGBTQ community, their families, their friends, their children. That's one of the other things Trump wants to do. Trump and his supporters want to get rid of the ability for people in the LGBTQ community to adopt in a nation where the adoption system is already overrun. We got too many kids looking for homes to tell people of certain genders and certain sexualities that they can't adopt a child. And you're not concerned about this. By telling us to calm down and chill out, like you did in that ABC interview, you're missing the point, and you're not understanding where we're coming from. So I think what you could do, Mr. Fetterman, is take a step back and try to understand what we're feeling. Instead of just telling us to calm down, try to understand why we feel the way we do and why we're so upset. You know, I'm not here to shed tears and cry and shit like that. That's not what I'm concerned about. But what I am here for is to fight for my community and everyone else that may be affected by these upcoming terrible executive orders and laws the Republicans are going to try and pass. I hope you stand on the right side of history. I hope you stand against fascism. But telling me to calm down and telling me to chill out, it is not going to go very far with me. In fact, it's not going to go very far with most anybody in my community because we're at risk here. You may not care because you're not LGBTQ. Maybe you don't care because you don't know someone who's trans or you don't love somebody who's gay. But I know people who are gay. And they're some of the best people I've ever met. I'm early on in my transition. Just now trying to seek medical transition. And he wants to ban that. I went to a doctor 4 days. 4 days after the election. Before the election, I was aiming to look for medical transition and seeing if I would qualify for that. Because my disability makes that kind of difficult, right? But now I can't, right? Because I can't start something that I'm going to have to just stop. And he's looking to ban that through executive order on Monday. So please take a moment. Just take a moment and look at the policies he's been pushing and the policies that the Republicans have already tried to pass in the states and that they've tried to pass in the legislature, in the U.S. House. And tell me again how I can calm down. Anyways, if you made it this far, if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell as well. That way you don't miss anything here at Unapologetically Progressive. I hope you're having a good day, and I hope you like the new name and new direction of the channel. We'll see how that goes further down the road. I'm not getting as many views as I would like, but we're working on it. Anyways, y'all have a great day. See you down the road.